Who's gonna buy toys when we grow up?
Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to be building a milling station. So I took the tractor and leveled off a small area here. It's about 30 foot to that little sapling. And my cutoff area is going to be down here. I'm not sure how much of this I'll be able to record, but I'll try to keep up with it. This is going to be a multiple day project. As you can see, I've got a nice selection of 4x4s and random cut-offs of wood that I just haven't used for anything, so I think I'm going to build most of it out of this. So I dragged out some of the lumber and got the first hole dug. I'll use this to measure off for my side support, which will be somewhere right in there, and my rear supports, which will end up back there. So I got the first 2 posts in. Sun's starting to leave me now. I don't know how much I'll end up doing today. Maybe I'll pick up on it tomorrow. It's the next morning, and it's kind of sunny out. Got myself an umbrella hooked to the truck. We'll get started on this again. Got the first 2 half laps done. No need to make them perfect. I was actually looking at putting it at this side originally, but since the log is going to be coming from that way over, I think it might be better to put them on this side, so as the log hits it, it'll be pushing into instead of away from. Okay, first one in. This side actually is twisted just a hair, so that top's sticking out, but I should be able to clamp that and pull it in tight, and then with the glue and the screws, see, this side's twisted on the other side. Just a little bit of angle, no big deal. I got the rear 2 posts in, still got to bury them. A couple of 2x4s and a 1x2 there just to hold everything in place. Got it all leveled out and square. So time to pack it down, square it again, then we'll start on some more joinery. I decided to use a new tool. It's called a lumberjack tool to put a tenon on this post, but it turned out to be a little more difficult to get it centered and straight than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. I'm going to see if I can clean it up by hand and take this down a little further. It jumped ahead here just a little bit. My nephew decided to come by, and it's difficult to work and manage him and then also videotape. So I got my cross supports in. So this one came out fairly decent. This one, however, there's a twist, and so I ended up a little shallow. Also, this is the first time I ever used it, and I didn't go quite deep enough. So whenever I move this to the back of the property, I'll have to take that out. So I've given a little bit of thought, and I don't think that it's worth it to cut out and recess this board, at least not now. Possibly whenever I move it, because it's going to be moved all the way to that far pole back there. So right now, honestly, it's really hot, and I don't want to take the time to do it. Also, I don't see that it'll have any noticeable advantage for how I'm going to be using it right now. This, just attaching it through with screws should provide me more than enough stability. So I think I'm just gonna pop these on real quick and go from there. Well, I decided to take a few minutes and throw a little amenities on this so I can get out here and work. I actually hooked up I made a little rig here for my 8-foot umbrella. So now I'm working in the shade, which is considerably nicer. I still got to trim those down to height. And then I guess I'll start working on the bed here, which is gonna lay back across that back one over there, obviously. And so then the winch will mount up here, and I'll be able to drag the log straight up the center there. With any luck, that's my goal. Here's where we're at now. I've been looking at it, and I'm guessing I'm probably going to need some kind of angled board to come down this way on each side to kind of guide the log up the center. But all that's really left is to put in a couple of those and mount that winch, which I'm just going to place it on the bottom of a 4x4 and sandwich it in between another 2x8. So that'll be right here. Yeah, I'll come back when I'm a little further along. So here it is, one completed milling station. The main idea behind this particular milling station is for me to, by myself, buck several larger logs without killing my back. So I've got one over here, and here in a minute I'll see if I can get somebody to work the camera for me, and I can give you a quick demonstration of how exactly this thing works. I went ahead and dragged this little cedar post over here. Okay, so now I've got Matt working the camera. We can start to use this thing. The winch that I purchased for this is not the best for what I'm doing, but and I just threw up that little cedar log so I can kind of give you an explanation and show you how it works. So come around this side, and this is what I mean by not the best choice of winch, because it's a fixed gear. So you drag it out, you wrap your log, come back around, and you crank it up. Not the most fascinating thing in the world. But as you can see, it does the job, and it'll allow me to do all of this on my own without killing myself. I don't have the best back. Get it up where I want it. I engage the lock. And with this one I can just kind of adjust it where I need it. The way I have this set up right now is just for bucking the logs. So I'll drag them up to whatever length I want and chop them off, roll them out of the way. Once I have all of that done, I'm going to remove this ramp board and I'll place a board this way, and then I can mill those logs. And I can use these side arms to attach clamps or drills screwed to it, tied to it, whatever I need to do. And from there, I should be able to make all the stools for this wedding. Okay, so right now I've just got this log temporarily strapped down with a tie strap. Normally I'll be pulling them further out so I can buck them to about 2.5 to 3 feet, but this particular log is just going to be turned into small little pavers if you look down. So, give you a quick look. Anyway, you get the idea. Make yourself a bunch of these and you got a nice little path. 89 degrees outside right now, and I'm covered in sweat and look like a hot mess. So that's it for this one. I guess I'll see you guys next time.